Do you remember sitting at the table having a staring contest with your plate and that scoop of peas you refused to eat? Or those last few bites of chicken that looked anything but appealing? Or how about this? Do you remember your mother or father saying, "Eat up so you can grow big and strong and play with the big kids"? Well, you're not alone in those memories. It seems that food and mobility are a tale as old as time, and they continue to be here at JMU. As you walk around campus, you are sure to see the average pedestrian, the good-looking runner, and a well-balanced skateboarder, as well as the occasional biker. Based on how one moves around campus seems to be a big indicator of where they eat on campus. Because each student has a schedule that is the same week to week, they form habits about where they go, whom they go with, and at what time. Although we do it to account for the schedule, humans are very much creatures of habits. We will be focusing on mobility, connection to food, and how those two things affect one's habits. If you are on East Campus at JMU, you have two main dining places and two small coffee shops. A student or faculty member that can eat at either E-Hall, a traditional dining hall, or Festival, which is more cafeteria style, takeout with stations and whatnot. But with Festival, there's a small coffee shop, and within the East Campus library, there's also a Starbucks. Meanwhile, if you are on main campus, there are different options. D Hall or Gibbons is also a traditional dining hall. Connected to that is a Chick-fil-A, and in the Carrier Library, there's also a Starbucks. Within Taylor Down Under, there's an Auntie and a Subway. Let's start with habits. Humans love schedules and routines, so because those schedules were created before school year started, we have all formed by now a routine and habits surrounding it. Mr. Charles Duhigg says, quote, "By putting together a cue, a routine, and a reward, and then cultivating a craving, this drives a loop and forms a habit." Unquote. This can be translated into our eating routines, which in turn are determined by our mobility. A student who just sat through an hour and 15-minute bio lecture on East Campus, say around lunch, is not going to trek down to Mrs. Green's on main campus near Stadium for a salad. They will go to East Campus Dining Hall or Festival. Each time they have that lecture around lunchtime, they will go to E-Hall. This will become a habit and can be seen as this trigger and reward system. The trigger is leaving the class, and the reward is sitting at an all-you-can-eat dining hall after listening to Professor go on and on. You may be asking, well, how does mobility fit into all this? Well, good question. If a student only walks around campus, then they are less likely to take the 25-minute walk to the other side of campus when they have dining options much closer. A student may consider taking a bus to the other side of campus because it's more convenient and takes less time. A student who bikes or skateboards may think about the busy sidewalks and paths will be during the time and decide to forego the ride down and get something at E-Hall or Festival. As you can see, mobility and food on campuses are tied together. How one gets to food is a big deciding factor. Will it be a 10-minute bus ride, a 25-minute walk? How far am I willing to go for this food? Students go through these decisions every day, and the decisions do eventually become habits. Now that we've compared on and off-campus dining at JMU, we will look at the connection between food and mobility as a whole by exploring the city of Harrisonburg and the layout of dining services.